Ladies and gentlemen, when you have a Democrat switching allegiances, switching parties, amid what is supposed to be this historic moment for Democrats, oh my goodness, with a heavy heart, we are doing what we don't want to do, you know. We have to impeach President Trump. We don't want to, but my goodness, he tried to withhold military assistance to go after his political rival, the No Malarkey bus tour. Oh my goodness. Even though President Zelensky stated there was no pressure, and literally no witness has any direct evidence of anything. It's all their opinion and their viewpoint, literally. The only evidence that was compiled was for President Trump when former Ambassador Marie Yovanovitch said, by the way, well, first she said, under oath, she said, well, I didn't know anything about impeachment. I didn't know anything about Hunter Biden. Then she said, well, President Obama's administration gave talking points regarding Biden and the conflicts of interest. So if she were to be asked, she was supposed to give the talking points saying, we'll refer any questions about Hunter to the vice president's office. But anti-impeachment Democrat Jeff Van Drew meets with President Trump, to discuss party switch. This is a New Jersey Democrat. Now, is New Jersey going to flip red? No. But this is symbolic. This is very symbolic of what's taking place. They're not taking it seriously. And you can see fractures within the Democratic Party. There was even a New York Times article with a survey stating, well, have you made up your mind? The Democrats, there were actually more no's in Congress against impeachment than yes, we're going to impeach. Obviously, they're going to impeach President Trump. My point is, from that New York Times poll or survey to this Representative Jeff Van Drew of New Jersey, the fact that he's leaving is absolutely hilarious. So Jeff Van Drew met with President Trump on Friday to discuss going across party lines and joining the Republican Party. This after he has spent months criticizing fellow Democrats for their push to impeach Trump. So, very well done. They had Justin Amash switch, but that was just, it's easy. When people say to me, "Oh, H.A. Goodman, you were a grifter. You became a Trump supporter." Well, no, the lucrative angle, if you were conniving and only working for money, I could have simply said, you know what? I was the biggest Bernie Sanders booster on the internet, according to the Huffington Post, and the unofficial scribe of Sanders' most hardcore voters, according to the Washington Post. I wrote 100 articles saying that Bernie Sanders was better than Clinton. You know, I apologize. I should never have voted for Bernie Sanders. Clinton is who I should have voted for. And you know what? Trump embodies everything bad. He worked with Russia. You know, I'm going to devote every article. I'm going to devote every one of the editors that used to sign off on my Huffington Post articles works at the Daily Beast. So I could have simply reached out to the Daily Beast. They wrote a hit piece on me and said, "Look, I want to apologize for ever writing about Bernie. I want to write only about Clinton." I would have pitched articles to Slate, everything, okay? And believe me, they would have been like, you know what, this guy, he was nuts, and he was the biggest Bernie bro, and then he became a Clinton supporter. Oh my God, I could have done that. Do you understand? I could have done that. I still have all the contacts at MSNBC and CNN. I've been on there when I was during my Bernie Sanders days. I could have been like, you know what, I will talk badly against Trump. He worked with Russia. That's the angle. That would have been very lucrative. I would have had 500, 600,000 subs already on this channel. I could have started another channel. But you know what? I'll get those subs. And this channel, my next channel, my other channel, H.A. Goodman's other channels, they're going to do great. Because Clinton is running, obviously. But not just that. I'm myself. I don't have to be something I'm not. I became a Trump supporter because of the reasons I wrote in the Federalist below. the articles below on the Federalist, but here, Jeff Van Drew met with President Trump on Friday to discuss going across party lines and joining the Republican Party. This after he has spent months criticizing fellow Democrats for their push to impeach Trump. So another source told Fox that Van Drew may be seeking a Rose Garden ceremony if he were to switch. Give him it. Give him the Rose Garden ceremony. My God. Van Drew is one of the two Democrats who opposed the resolution. There are two. They can't even get a unified. I don't believe there were any Democrats who were sympathetic with Nixon. Now, yes, in the Senate, there were obviously Republicans who did not want to convict or remove Clinton. But that's the thing. You don't convict or remove. I don't think you should have removed Clinton for that either. So, the issue, though, is that he committed perjury. So he lied under oath. That is a crime. The issue here is Trump did not commit a crime at all. This was an intelligence operative and a whole bunch of disgruntled diplomats, and then a couple scholars, 4 scholars that just didn't like Trump. And who also, one or two of whom made disparaging remarks about Trump supporters or conservatives. But here, the Washington Post first reported that Trump had personally urged Van Drew to jump ship, and that the lawmaker is strongly considering it. I thought this was Representative Jeff Van Drew, anti-impeachment Democrat. So, Washington Post first reported, so switching sides, New York Times reported that he could make an announcement as soon as next week. This is huge. Representative Jeff Van Drew, anti-impeachment Democrat, plans to switch sides. Fantastic. The water's warm, believe me. I've never been happier politically than being a Trump supporter. Never. Never. I get a president who goes up against corrupt intelligence officials, doesn't embrace their behind. I get a president who, signs an executive order against anti-Semitism and running rampant in college campuses. I get a president who presides over record low unemployment, Black and Latino unemployment, record low national unemployment, signs the First Step Act, engages in prison legislation, criminal justice reform, bringing home Americans ultimately from never-ending counterinsurgency conflicts, which is really what drives me. If Max Boot and Bill Kristol don't like President Trump, I'm voting for President Trump. And truth be told, if Max Boot and Bill Kristol and all the Bush and Cheney and Rumsfeld-era Republican strategists who pushed for never-ending counterinsurgency conflicts, if they wanted Trump and they opposed Clinton, I would have voted Clinton. The reason that I was the biggest Bernie Sanders booster on the internet, according to the Huffington Post, and the unofficial scribe of Sanders' most hardcore voters, according to the Washington Post, is because Bill Kristol and Max Boot, they were, and all of the Bush-era interventionists were voting Hillary Clinton. This is too much for people to understand. They think that climate change is more important than never-ending counterinsurgency conflicts. I don't. I think that never-ending quagmires, what we do, we have a responsibility as a nation, as a country, to our men and women in the armed forces. I want to bring them home to their families, to their sons, their daughters, their husbands, their wives. I want to bring them home. I don't want them staying forever. Because we can stay in those countries for another 20 years, 50 years. It still wouldn't. Nothing will ever be. When they say, well, you can't withdraw. Even Bernie Sanders said it has to be an orderly withdrawal. You can't withdraw. The timing has to be right. The groundwork has to be set. The groundwork and the timing and there'll never be a right time to leave. With that mentality, we would have stayed in the Vietnam War forever. There'll never be a right time to leave. Because these are counterinsurgency conflicts where the people whose minds and hearts and minds we want to change are living there forever. We are not living there. You cannot impose a political. And they say, well, do you still want soldiers in Germany and Japan? Completely different ballgame. There were no counterinsurgency conflicts there. Okay, and those conflicts, by the way, were not in Germany and Japan. The post-war scenario had nothing to do with ethnicity or religion or different sectarian violence. This is a whole different ballgame, a completely different ballgame. Anyway, we can go on forever. I get a president who fights the establishment, the same establishment that cheated Bernie Sanders, and that Bernie Sanders. Watch my H.A. Goodman's other channel. The guy, Bernie Sanders. I'm not necessarily defending the gentleman that he didn't endorse, but he should have simply kept his endorsement. Why? You already endorsed the person. Grow a spine, show a spine, and keep the endorsement. Same with another congressman. If you endorse a person, keep the endorsement. Don't. Oh yeah. By the way, our movement is bigger. Yeah, whatever. For what it's worth, the guy did give Bernie, a lot of coverage. So on YouTube, but whatever. Believe me, I'm the last person. I'm the last person to defend whatever. Watch that. That's the dysfunctionality. They want to fight the 1%, but he can't even keep an endorsement. So you think he can't even fight with Debbie Wasserman Schultz. Trump is going up in Comey's face. Trump is going up in all of their faces. Trump is going up and completely eviscerating all of them. William Barr and John Durham are already finding evidence. That's what they said when the IG report came out, said 17 deliberate inaccuracies. Because you don't accidentally make mistakes like that. It's deliberate. That is institutional bias. 17 inaccuracies just in 3, and then you have the anti-Trump text messages, which is the testimonial bias. Are you kidding me? But Democrat Jeff Van Drew, if you're anyone even close to you is ever even watching this, tell Mr. Van Drew and tell President Trump, if anyone in the White House is even watching this, get the Rose Garden ceremony, get the Goodyear blimp, get NASA to televise this from outer space. I don't know, whatever. This is the best thing, and then you'll see Nancy Pelosi Anti-impeachment Democrat Jeff Van Drew meets with Trump to discuss party switch. Make this a spectacle. I'm talking about fighter jets overhead. I'm talking about fireworks. I'm talking about a parade. Make this this has to be the biggest event of all time. Just Democrats are it's our solemn duty, and then from New Jersey, a blue state, very blue state, but there are pockets of very conservative people. There are a lot of Trump supporters in New York and New Jersey. If you're a Trump supporter in New York and New Jersey, let me know in the comments section. There are a lot of wonderful, wonderful, beautiful people in New York and New Jersey who are Trump supporters. Okay? And so, Bill de Blasio and Chuck Schumer, they don't represent these people. Okay? But anyway, the point is, make this into a spectacle. Oh my God, please, Trump. Make this into Jeff Van Drew, Democrat Jeff Van Drew. Honestly, place him in a cannon and, have him fly out and, I don't know. Get I don't know, something. A giant cake he pops out of. Mr. President. It's going to be absolutely amazing. Do you understand? Do you even understand how amazing this is? Democrat Jeff Van Drew. Honestly, get the jetpack from Super Bowl II. Have him fly into the Rose Garden with the jetpack. Or you could have one of those Cessnas with the long, skywriting. What else? Anything. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. I mean, it's going to be amazing. Something has to be a huge, spectacular. It has to be a spectacle. Get I don't know. Just do something amazing for this man, because he single-handedly and listen, And if anyone at the White House or if anyone at Jeff Van Drew's campaign, once Jeff Van Drew gets this Rose Garden ceremony, okay, where it's like, oh my God, he's switching sides, this is amazing, then you'll have other Democrats saying, the water looks really nice there, because I'm being called everything, every name in the book by my own constituents, because Democrats stand for nothing and they're just, Democrats are basically a social media cyber cult at this point. And you could quote me on that. Give me your thoughts below. This is absolutely amazing. You check out H.A. Goodman's other channel right now, especially if you're progressive and still watch me. God bless you. God bless you. Bernie Sanders should never have withdrawn that endorsement. And believe me, I don't really care, but he should never have done that. That is completely unethical. Especially when he, whatever, watch the H.A. Goodman's other, subscribe to H.A. Goodman's other channel that is below in the pinned comment right now. Congressman Jeff Van Drew, God bless you. The water is a lot warmer here, trust me. God bless you, Jeff Van Drew.